this note, it is my pleasure to declare this retreat open. I hope you create time out of your busy schedule to visit places of interest in the city while savoring the warmth and hospitality of our people. Thank you for your time. God bless us all. Thank you so much.
Delta State Governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowori, has urged the National Assembly to provide legislative backing for policies that promote local manufacturing, infrastructure funding, and skill development. He said such collaboration would complement the executive arm's commitment to policy consistency, ease of doing business, and the protection of local industries. Speaking in Asaba at the opening of a 4-day retreat for the House of Representatives Committee on Industry, themed Building a Globally Competitive Automotive Sector in Nigeria through Effective Executive Legislative Partnership, the governor, represented by his Chief of Staff, Prince Johnson Erijo, emphasized that Nigeria must develop a sustainable automotive industry to empower its youth and conserve foreign exchange. Governor Oborowori highlighted that subnational governments must support the federal government by making their states attractive to investors through reforms in land acquisition, simplified business approvals, and improved social harmony. He noted that Delta's more agenda was already driving massive infrastructure renewal, public-private partnerships, and enhanced power distribution to create a business-friendly environment. According to him, Delta State's natural endowments in oil, gas, and solid minerals such as kaolin, silica, and industrial clay, as well as its 4 seaports and strategic geographic location, position it as a hub for industrial and automotive development in Nigeria. He added that the state's youthful population and peaceful climate provided an added advantage for industrial growth. The governor observed that the global automotive sector remained a key driver of employment, innovation, and economic diversification. He commended the House Committee on Industry and the National Automotive Design and Development Council (NADDC) for organizing the retreat at a time when Nigeria is seeking to revive its manufacturing base.
Under the more agenda of this administration, we are creating the enabling environment for industries to thrive through massive infrastructural renewal, public-private partnerships, a decentralized power distribution system, and enhanced peace and security. Coupled with an educated, vibrant, and highly motivated youth population, I assure you that the Delta State is well positioned to support industries that create jobs and foster technology transfer.
In his remarks, Committee Chairman Honorable Enitan Dolapo Badru underscored the need for closer executive legislative cooperation to strengthen the automotive sector. He lamented the high cost of financing in Nigeria and urged the central bank and other financial institutions to make credit available at single-digit interest rates to boost local production and vehicle ownership.
Because Nigeria is a dumping ground, it shouldn't be that case. Now, even if you have to purchase a second-hand vehicle, it has to be a vehicle that has been certified by an automotive establishment. If whatever manufacturer cannot get a single-digit financing, it churns out its products very high. It is you and me that we pay that percent. So at the end of the day, everything that goes round comes round. So therefore, when Innocent now establishes a business, he cannot finance it fully, and the financing he gets is double digit, 24, even 30% to an extent. He can't sell what he produces. Maybe if he produces 20,000, he will sell 500. So these are the problems.
Also speaking, NADDC Director General Mr. Oluwemimo Osani appealed to the National Assembly to legislate on investment-friendly policies for the automotive sector.
We've started doing what we ought to do. One of the things to do is the policy, legislate on some of the policies that we have taken. Those policies have to be legislated to guarantee or give comfort to investors. And then part of what we need to do is more understanding about the role individual, different sectors, National Assembly, executive, you and I, even media, financial institutions, the role everybody needs to play. You've seen that auto is a very critical sector in any economy. And then everybody have to play that role for that auto to excel. We talk about financial institutions. You, you can't manufacture a vehicle and then be able to compete globally when your cost of fund is 30 something percent. It's not done. You want to compete with those who are manufacturing in China when their cost of fund just single digits. Again, you want to buy, you as a consumer, you want to buy a vehicle and you need to pay 100% before you can acquire a vehicle. Meanwhile, your colleagues in Cordoba, in South Africa, pay only 5% and they take a new vehicle and then continue to pay the balance monthly. So it means this is not only, it means we all of us need to work together to bring about this good regime. Then, if you have to do that, in these countries, people don't bring in used vehicles. Again, it's all of us that have to be at home with this for all these policies to work. And that's why we are having this type of retreat where we brought in the legislation so that they can understand what we are doing and then know where they are going to come in and then they will be able to come in and assist.
Other stakeholders, including Dr. John Mutu of the Africa Parliamentary Resource Center and Committee Clerk Dr. Usman Ibrahim, said the retreat would help deepen lawmakers' understanding of NADDC operations and produce a 2-year roadmap for the committee's activities.
Now, the choice of Delta State is a recognition of the fact that the state is adjudged by the committee to be a peaceful state, and bringing honorable members to this place, they will have the benefit of the program for which they have come to do. The retreat generally is on National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC. The person who spoke earlier is the Director General of that organization. And the House of Representatives Committee on Industry oversights the activities of that body. Now, the auto industry is a very strategic industry in Nigeria. And the regulator of that industry is the National Automotive Design and Development Council. For the National Assembly to effectively oversight the activities of that body, it is very important that they understand the rudiment of the activities. Understanding the rudiment of the activities implies that the enabling legislation, right from 1993, when it was National Automotive Council, until there is a crystallization of the same organization into NADDC in 2014. So the review of these two documents is very vital to the members of the National Assembly that are overseeing this activity. And so what we have come here to do is to see how we can synergize that act vis-a-vis the auto policy for which they have been pursuing over time. Because the only way we can develop the auto sector in Nigeria is by ensuring that there is proper legislation. And if there is any policy, how is that policy translated into legislation for effective implementation? So that as there is change of government, it does not necessarily affect the auto industry. And the only way to do that is by translating that policy into legislation. Is it going to be by way of amendment or by way of existing another legislation? This is why we are here. We look at the pros and the cons, the existing document, the policy, harmonize it into one document, or handle it independently.
Is making Nigeria automobile industry competitive globally by removing all the bottlenecks that has limited the effectiveness of the automotive industry, and also seeing how the executive and the legislature, particularly the NADDC and the House Committee on Industry, can work together collaboratively in a manner that helps to address all the bottlenecks so that Nigerians can have access to affordable cars. Nigeria we can have made in Nigeria cars, not just cars that are assembled in Nigeria, but made in Nigeria cars. We're looking forward to a day where the use of Tokumbo vehicles will be a thing of the past in this country. We look forward to a day where the middle class can also be able to buy brand new cars, and also building the required spare parts and all that in Nigeria. So this conversation is leaders sitting together, partners sitting together to now brainstorm on the issues and charting a way forward. Particularly one particular issue has come up, the legal framework that regulates the automotive sector is centered around the National Automotive Industry Development Plan. And most of the stakeholders, if you ask them, they say that that plan is still at the policy level, it's not backed by law. So it leads to political instability. So if this current government leaves and another government that does not believe in that policy, and they change the policy, it affects investor confidence. And that is why a lot of investors are not ready to come to the country. So they are desirous of amending or maybe enacting that or converting that policy into a law, so that at least it becomes more, it creates stability, it builds investor confidence, and before you know it, investors can now start coming into this country. Instead of just assembling plants, they can now start manufacturing cars in Nigeria. We can start also now manufacturing accessories, we can start manufacturing tires and all that. So this is a very, very strategic meeting that is going on here.
Eunice Emeyazia reporting.